Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a general read for maybe dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, About 3 Tarot. She's review as well. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I don't know why I'm kind of thinking, Sag, of, back in the school days, kind of like a competition or a sports event, whether it was football, whether it was basketball, whether it was the baseball field, whatever the sport is, when they usually have the music blasting over the speakers, whether it was the cheerleaders, just the music, just sort of amping up the crowd, trying to, amp up the crowd amps up the team, all the players, that kind of thing. Interesting. In other words, it's kind of like, your spirit, your pride. Keep that fire burning alive. All right, let's see here. Before we get too far into this, What is that, Crosswatcher? What is that? We're just jumping into this, Sag. I'm looking at so much back and forth. It's like, are you down? Are you up? Which direction are you kind of, are you down or are you up? In a sense, with that Five of Swords, it's kind of like, are things going in your favor or are things not going in your favor? Whatever the situation is, it does present itself like a little bit of both, which is interesting. It's the first time I've actually seen this. A little bit of both. It's like, well, there's some, in a sense, some positive to this, but there's also some negative to this. So whatever's going on regarding their perspective with the situation, they're kind of saying realist. It's not necessarily like optimist, pessimist. It's just kind of more realist with how they're kind of perceiving the situation. And I'm not too sure exactly what this is about. Because they're not feeling too hot. And I feel like that's where that message of kind of amping or hyping up the situation comes from. It's like when you're feeling down, it's sort of like, what can you do to kind of lift your spirits? Because once again, there's something there, but that Eight of Swords shows up. So it's like, what is going on? What is going on? There's a lot of mental space. There's like a lot of analysis. I don't know what that is. They're saying they're not really necessarily down and out yet, but at the same time, What are you going for, Crosswatcher? You're kind of... What are you saying? Just kind of, how do I say this? This is an interesting energy. Just kind of... just not feeling it. Low spirits, very low spirits. Just kind of, what would, I don't know, what would give them that boost? What would give them that hype? What would give them that amp? What, like, what's that song? Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. I think it's actually called Fuel by Metallica. Interesting. They're trying to come up with something. I don't know what that is, but they're trying to come up with something. That's a lot of energy of like steady, steady, steady. Like steady, steady, steady. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's between the two of you. They're emphasizing it's between the two of you. Whatever this is that's going on, it is between the two of you. This almost feels like exercises. How do I say this? Exercises, not necessarily in restraint. Dare I go in this direction? It's like exercises in breathing, exercises, and energy work. It almost makes me feel like Reiki, kind of like working with chi, breathing exercises. This is energy work. This is energy work, Sagittarius. I'm a little bit curious if it is transmutation, you know, that temperance energy. Is it transmutation and alchemy, or is it not, Crosswatcher? It almost feels like entertaining the thought or the idea, though. That's the interesting thing. So what is it between the two of you that's kind of like a new exercise, a new experiment? Just trying something out. That's for sure. Trying something out. Don't know what that is. Kind of like, how comfortable are you? How comfortable, how secure are you with yourself, with what you're doing, with Sagittarius? I kind of have to, you know, throw that question out there. Like, how comfortable are you? Because what you're emphasizing, Crosswatcher, is you feel like a little bit of a fish out of water. You're like, this is not my cup of tea. This is not what I'm used to. But whatever this is, you're emphasizing like you're trying to kind of catch on, you're trying to keep up, you're trying to kind of stay on top of things, but the way that this is going with that 5 of Cups, like trying to stay on top of things, it's like, what is going on? Because it's like things are piling up on top of you. Once again, yeah. Once again. There it is, but interesting. What is this? What is that, Crosswatcher? What is that? I don't feel like this is all happening like direct contact or communication between the two of you. This is what's going on internally, Sagittarius. It's going on internally. This feels like that temperance energy. It feels like alchemy. It feels like transmutation. It feels like them working with these energies. And it's almost kind of like visual. How do I say? It's like visualizing. There's definitely a technique of some sort. Hmm. It's a technique. Yeah, it's a technique. Trying something new, trying something different, kind of thinking outside the box. Why is there the contemplation and consideration though? Like, should they even be doing this? That's the interesting part. Is like, should they even be doing this? Should they even be attempting this? That's a lot of consideration. That's a lot of consideration, Sagittarius. If they're going back and forth with themselves that much about like, should they even be doing this? Should they even be doing this? It's kind of like their conscience kind of kicking up and being like, because you keep showing me, Crosswatcher, that like whatever you're doing, there's like guilt. There's a conscience. There's guilt to this, and that's why I'm like, okay. What is the back and forth reference once again between you and Sagittarius? What is that? I don't know, Sag. I don't know. I feel like that's something going on with themselves personally, how this starts. And then it goes into something of a financial pursuit. And then it's like between what they're doing with themselves and the financial pursuit, that's sort of how this plays out and unfolds. And once again, there's that reference to you, which I'm not too sure what that's about. Something that they're trying out, something new or different or they haven't done before. I'm not understanding that, Crosswatcher. Because what you're saying is you're referencing Sagittarius, but for some reason, you're saying it's all for money. It's all for money. The Queen of Pentacles. It's all for money. This is like reference, reference, reference. Reference, reference, reference. Eight of Cups. Yeah, okay, so they're showing up. Okay, I used to see this energy for Capricorns reading a while ago about the whole Holy Grail. Someone looking for the Holy Grail. You know, in other words, translation, golden goose. The golden goose. Holy Grail meaning like whatever this is, the Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to gold. Once again, I'm looking at it. But they want that golden goose because all the money they can make from it. And so they're referencing you. Once again, they're referencing. And whatever this is with that Eight of Cups, they could care less. So they're kind of being, in a sense, you know, you call this cold-blooded, kind of snakish. Like a viper. Looking at 666. Interesting. I'm also looking at 777. There's the World. I have no idea, Sag. I have no idea. Yeah, we all know who's on the other side of that. Okay, Crosswatcher, I don't get that. Why are you saying... Now they're kind of, they're being obscene, and they're being vulgar. There's the Ace of Pentacles. This is where they become obscene, and they become vulgar, and they kind of become, in other words, like, I could care less, Sagittarius, about you. I'm just using you for money and financial ideas. There's that Seven of Cups. They're kind of emphasizing, like, who else can I kind of go to? Just very kind of arrogant. Very arrogant, kind of, you know, thick-headed. The weird thing is, though, is they're comparing themselves to you and what you do for work, your job, or career. Might be some insecurities there. maybe some competitive nature, competitive behavior or thoughts or ideas. There's that Nine of Swords. There's the Devil. The Five of Wands. I don't understand, Crosswatcher. What is this devil energy in the Five of Wands where you're just kind of, you're being toxic and you're just flustered, angry, aggravated, pissed off? What's that about? And there's Sagittarius. Look at this. And there's Sagittarius. And there's the Tower. I mean, it's kind of like temper there. It's, you know, it's kind of like, be cool. Because look how fast that Tower shows up. My goodness gracious. Temper, 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 temper. Okay, now they're referencing other people. Like I said, with that Seven of Cups, it's like reference, running around, referencing people. In that devil energy, because it's not turning out the way they thought it or wanted it to. In that Nine of Swords, because they don't know where this is going to go. They're showing me run around, or they're showing me that they're running around. So what's the energy of keeping tabs on you and keeping tabs on, I guess, other coworkers in the workplace? Is it a boss? Is it a manager? Is it a shot caller? I don't know, but the way they're kind of sneaking around, I don't think so. Because a boss doesn't have to tiptoe or sneak around. So we'll see where this goes. Goodbye.